Hi, everybody. Um, oh no, that's what that was. There is an echo in a thing. That was my fault. Aha. But, it would seem like things are working, I think. Um, this is the first time that I'm using this new PC, everyone. Can you tell that I'm still freaking out like it's the old one? Um, but I do definitely hope that this is working and that if there are any issues, please let me know. I'm still going to be freaking out for a little bit. Video and sound are clear. Yes. Oh my god. Oh my god. Thank you so very much. Again, to everyone who ensured that this could kind of happen in the first place. I'm still kind of consistently freaking out that this new PC was not the problem and that the problem was like somewhere between me and the keyboard that I was like totally unaware of, but I'm really glad that this has a lot that this allows me to bring Soundclash Clampdown to you in absolutely astounding quality, it would seem. I'm still going to be freaking out every once in a while, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Um, but we are here for another session of Soundclash Clampdown. Video smooth as butter too. Really glad to see that because I'm literally checking my frames as well and going, should I be worried? But everything is moving very well and I'm really impressed. So yes, thank you so much again, Arv and Dragon Spear and everyone who like ensured that this could happen in the first place. I'm very grateful. I am excited to do Sound Clash now without having to worry about whether you can see me or whether my head is moving. Um, so yes, thank you so very much, and it is my pleasure as a result to bring to you another session of Sound Clash the Clampdown. Um, the crew is gathered presently in anticipation of getting into some shenanigans. Um, but first, as always, we should not hesitate to mention all of the cool things that you can do in order to interact with this channel. And I will just type a thing in the chat so everybody can see those things. So you can definitely support the channel itself financially through your support to the Patreon, which you can find at exclamation point Arftreon. You can find Greg's website, arvanelron.com and gregorywilson.com, gregoryawilson.com. The podcast Speculate that I co-host with Greg and Mike Underwood, which you can find at speculatesf.com, which for which a future episode of Rebel Crown, Splendor and Shadow is upcoming next week Friday. Well, this Friday, if I'm not mistaken. So definitely look out for that when that happens. Um, uh, Past streams of the content that has already appeared on this channel you can find on the Arvanella on YouTube channel at exclamation point arvtube. Um, you can find more of Greg's own work, including Icarus and Jelinek, which you can find at exclamation point Icarus. Really excited to hear more about the award nomination that that book has gotten, and I'm crossing my fingers, crossing all of my appendages, in fact, that it does indeed get much further in that award context, so that's really dope. You can also find out more about the Grey Assassin trilogy at exclamation point Grey Shade Chaos. And of course, if you, like me, believe in asserting and affirming the importance of standing up for the lives of black people in the US and everywhere in the world, exclamation point BLM for a list of international resources to help you um, find ways to support that initiative and ensure that um, the work that is necessary to continue asserting and affirming black lives socially, financially, and structurally is done in its small steps. And exclamation point help now for World Health Organization resources regarding suicide prevention. This year has been very difficult for all of us. I know it's been very difficult for me. And um, any resource that is there that can help you not only find um, what is necessary to reach out to other people when you are going through something and reach out to other people when they are going through something, definitely check those out. Um, so, with all of that being said, I would definitely like to check in with these cool people over here, who I'm just going to drop into
Money to buy a
Zoom
house.
again. I hope that I didn't interrupt them from their cool conversations that I'm pretty sure they were having. Um, much more intelligent and thoughtful conversations that I was having when I was with them earlier.
Were
As
we?
we move very swiftly onto this screen over here. Aha. Um, say hello to
Hello,
all
hello.
of the lovely people who are about to play this game. And again, let me know if there are any technical issues. Again, I'm still going to be freaking out about that every once in a while.
Mm.
But without further ado, I should ask all of these lovely people to introduce themselves by telling us who they are, what they do, and who they will be playing this evening in Soundclash Clampdown, starting with Valley.
Hi guys, I'm Vale. I use he and they pronouns. I am a podcaster and game designer, I guess. And I do an interstitial podcast with my friends. It's called Kingdom Hearts Forgotten Era. You should listen. We're really great.
And who are you playing in this game this evening?
Oh yes, that's the thing. I am playing Ava Perone, the Beat. Your punk rock mom.
Nice. Next, Nathan.
Hello, hello, hello. I am a seed of imagination clasped in the hands of gods, Nathan Blades. I am a tabletop RPG designer and streamer most of the time, although I am currently on a bit of a hiatus. I, on this show, play Oliver Hoshizora, anime protagonist, resident sad boy, and theremin player.
Nice. Next, Katie.
Hello, it's me, Katie, and according to my new business cards, comedian, actor, writer. Whoa! What else? That was the most exciting part that I had going on for me. She/her pronouns, and I'm playing River Song. No relation to any sci-fi shows that you may be perusing on your space or otherwise channels. And River Song in this case is a uh, music honors grad student doing her best, loves following the rules and hanging out with their friends, even though those two might sometimes clash.
And last but not least, Amor.
Hi, I'm Amr Aravis. I do too many things right now. Someone please save me. Uh, I'm here today to play Nahmet, our wonderful melody, and I guess now group trash talker. Um, yeah, I use they she pronouns, and that's about it. That's like all I got.
Okay, nice. So we last left off our last session of Soundclash Clampdown with everyone finally taking a break from the intensity of the announcement of this year's Clash by taking some downtime. Some people made some trips back to their school compounds in order to do some um, not uh, totally not illegal, totally not frowned upon research, and also attempt to get their that building's secretary to go on a date with the god of the building. So that was nice. Some other members of the band decided to get some writing done. in the hopes of having a song ready for that clash. Um, and some various other personnel shenanigans ensued as well. But we should be, at this point, nearing the very first bout of this Clash season. Uh, at which point, it is very important to discover whether a song has been finished yet. So I should ask River, where are you at this moment?
Are we at the clash now?
No. Your event will take place in a few hours. You have time to get to the library amphitheater in time for that performance. But where are you now, and have you spoken to Oliver at any point previously about that song? Because surely you know at this point that you're cutting it kind of close in terms of getting a song finished.
Okay, River's in her apartment.
Okay.
We've I'd say we had at least the whole skeleton of a song ready at the what's the name? Observatory.
Mhm.
So she's playing out some of the keys on her apartment keyboard. She's got like a teeny tiny like music nook. Like she's got an apartment with barely any space. So if you saw it in like an anime, it would be one of those lots of personality in the entirety of the room type of thing. And there's a small, like slightly foam covered for soundproofing music nook where she's playing out the sheet music that I'm guessing Oliver sent her because he finished it up.
Yeah, I think you both get a MIDI roll and kind of like a Sibelius style printout of the score of at least the violin piece. So you kind of know. I guess there might have been a previous discussion of what instrument you wanted to go in on, knowing that the violin / fiddle is your main instrument of choice.
Okay. Yeah, she's got a keyboard and she's just like doing the notes one by one to get a really good feel of it without while being able to hold her phone at the same time. And then do people own printers? Yeah, she's got to own a printer, otherwise she wouldn't get her sheet music. But before she gets it and plucking it out on her piccato, I don't remember what things are called on a string instrument. Plucking things.
Yeah, that's pizzicato, right?
Pizzicato?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Strings.
But yeah, she's playing the note and messages like, I love it. I love this. Do you think we can play it tonight?
Well, for the most part, it begins and ends on ambience and feeling the vibe, in quotation marks. So, at the very least, improvisation will be key to getting the feel right. But the hook is simple enough.
In terms of vibe, I think I'd follow your lead. How are you at feeling vibes?
Oliver Hoshizora laughs and being in the Harmony playbook. I think I do reasonably well about being able to get everybody to work as a unit.
Roger, Roger.
You might think back to the instance where we were performing in Eva's apartment, and we all kind of getting together with the kind of tech setup that Oliver put in place. And it's like, oh yeah, this is a thing that he knows how to do.
Okay. So has anyone else seen this but the both of you?
I think I love it. If Oliver hadn't sent it out to Ava and Nuknut prior, he definitely would have sent it along with like a MIDI demo, open brackets, warning, loud, close brackets.
Okay. So that means that I will assume for that sake that Eva Nachmat, you get a message on Discord of like handwritten, well, the digitally transcribed song notes as well as a recording of the song in its present state. At which point I will ask, what is the name of the song?
The name of the song, inspired by the songwriting session Oliver and River had atop the observatory previously, and River feeling it almost a little too much and swaying on the backwards edge of the balcony. The song is called Starfall.
Nice. So when Ava Nakmat, when you see Starfall in the Discord in your Discord chat, how do you each like respond to noticing that there is a finished song now present for you both to consume?
I think that's fucking rad. So Ava has is immediately gonna sort of like look at, I guess, the beats for the song, and just sort of send back. Yes, I think she actually does swear. I think she's like, I didn't expect this to be ready. I thought we were doing a cover. And I think that's what she sends, and she sends like little, because she's a mom, she sends little minion hearts.
I'm not sure if we established this before. I feel like we've established this before, but now that we've established that the minions are in this universe, I guess we just have to deal with it.
If they're not minions, there's definitely like if they're not minions, there's like
a minions-esque thing in this world.
Minions are canon. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do that, Riel.
Just the straight up regular minions.
Yeah.
Except in this universe, they have 5 movies because their first one was a really big hit in the box office.
Oh God. Okay, noted.
They exploded because of the wine mom memes.
So Nakmat, what is your response to Starfall?
Hell yeah! When can we play it?
Well, it's in a couple hours, I guess. Well, actually, I wonder whether this conversation is happening on the day of, or whether this is happening at least with a little bit of grace period beforehand. But I like the idea that it's in very, very close, imminent. Well, yeah. In a couple of hours, if you're up to it.
I can clear some time in my schedule.
I'm up to it.
I hope so. That's some time of the Soundclash.
Yeah, we can't perform without our primary hype lady and shade thrower.
I just need to be there for the shade throwing part.
I think Ava doesn't respond to the chat for a little bit, and then sends like a little video of her practicing the main beat of the song. Probably with some teenage commentary in the background.
As in, Andrea is somewhere present, just like...
Andrea's probably holding the phone because Ava doesn't have like a stand yet.
You know what? Yes, I like this a lot. You want to know why? You want to know why I like this? Because there is this moment, so you give your daughter your phone, and there's this moment just before you start playing where Andrea is visibly kind of annoyed and bored. What on earth is happening right now? My mom is really about to play the drums and wants all of the folks who nearly blew up an apartment the other day to see it, and then a few seconds pass, a few bars of you playing pass by, and you can tell very silently that Andrea is into it. She doesn't say anything. She doesn't tell you anything, but you could just like notice in her eyes. She thinks this is dope.
Sweet. Like after she sends the video, she's like, my teenager didn't say anything, but I could tell that she was enthralled. I think we got something here.
You
We
all
take
also
those.
you all also notice Ava's video gets a fifth like emoji in the chat.
The Soviet spy is here.
Ace fan in the building, huh?
So yes, so that happens. You also all get a ping on Discord from the username says something like Devlin Promotions Secretary or something like that. And you all get like you all get separate messages from that same username. Does anyone want to open it?
Oh yeah. No,
I'll
let's see
open
what
it.
it says.
Oh, definitely.
Uh-huh.
Seems legit.
When you open it, it reads, "Dear open brackets contestant close brackets. Congrats on making it to this year's Soundclash qualifiers. We can't wait to see you rock the house, and we're absolutely stoked to discover who among you will earn 1 million credits and a record deal from Devlin Promotions. Your upcoming bout is with open close brackets. Noah get the boat closed brackets. And like the time and a reminder, like they include a map location pin for the library amphitheater, as if assuming that you don't know how to get there.
Drop that pin.
Can't wait to see you there. And this like awful scrawl of a signature that you can tell is Devlin's. And that's the end of the message.
I think Ava immediately texts the group and she's like, I'm worried that those schoolgirls are going up against Weirder in the first match.
You think something would happen to them?
I mean, we think that they killed a man, right?
I don't know how eager they are to go and kill 3 teenagers live on stage.
Didn't you stop them potentially from killing Devlin in front of that crowd?
Yes, but I do believe that they specifically had issues with Devlin. Like, Oliver says, just sweating.
Music is powerful stuff. Are your students up to the challenge?
Listen, I am obligated to feel like any teenager can act as an adult, even though they can't think as an adult. And so, like, I know that they're capable of doing great things, but I don't know if they are understanding the danger that they're in. But I also know they aren't going to listen to me.
Well, at the very least, if things get too spicy, maybe they'll forfeit. After all, if they win, it just puts them in more danger, right? Oliver, internally, if they forfeit, we have one less person to go up against. But he doesn't say that in the chat.
I mean, if this is like kind of a pyramid-y kind of tournament, then them forfeiting changes nothing in terms of how many people we have to fight.
I don't know whether it's Swiss, round robin, elimination. I don't know. I'm just here to have a good
Whatever
time.
the FIFA uses is points based.
Ava.
Parents would be very mad if they heard the FIFA come out of my mouth.
Oh god. Ava, you notice while you're having this conversation on Discord, Andrea is trying to get your attention, like very like vigorously waving hands around you while you are chatting.
One sec.
Um, s- what's this about? School kids at the Clash?
Oh, you didn't know that awful record producer just encouraged everyone to sign up for a clash?
That's. I mean, that is as skeevy as I assumed that a conversation like that would go, but I didn't expect anybody to actually sign up. Who do you know any of those kids?
I think you might. They're around your age, sweetheart. Um, one of the girls definitely has been in one of my classes. She sort of zeroed in on me despite my disguise last time. This time I got a mask, and she's like, listen, it was short notice. I needed a wig, but this time I gotta have a mask, and she's gonna sort of hold up the mask. Is she 3D printed at the school?
Like, she looks at it very like curiously, like, why on earth did you make a mask? Like, you can notice her like mouth that even. Why did you make a mask? But like, she's still like staring at it. It's like, this is actually kind of dope. What did you made this in school?
Yeah, I'm not just history, you know. I can work computers.
I absolutely believe you. And she just rolls her eyes. So, what are you gonna perform against those kids today?
Not those kids. No. We're going up against a group called Noah Get the Boat.
That's a weird name. I think I heard something about them, like some indie rap thing. Haven't heard any of the stuff though, but I don't know. Good luck, I guess. I don't know how I'm supposed to support my mother in this venture. This feels weird.
If you want to come to the clash, you're totally allowed to.
You sure?
Yes, just maybe don't be up front.
Because I will take videos, and they will be as embarrassing as possible.
That's fine. I'll just start reposting your baby photos.
You wouldn't.
Oh, you think I wouldn't?
And she pauses for a moment and just kind of chuckles to herself and gives you a very light hug and says, "This is still very weird, but knock 'em dead, ma."
Thanks. Who knows? Maybe we'll have 250,000 credits.
I look forward to that. There are some things that I want to do in my room. And that conversation trails off as I move slowly towards Oliver. Oliver, where are you when that chat took place? Were you home?
Yes, actually. Oliver has been, rather than preparing on campus, has been doing the personal kind of like pre-prep at their home, because they want to kind of use their own kind of computer instance of doing pre-prep. Beats need to be made and played and samples chopped in advance of the performance at hand. So he's essentially in his bedroom lab, as it were, cooking beats for this particular event.
Okay. As you're doing that, there is a knock on the door, on your bedroom door.
Yeah. What's up?
There is like a beat of like total silence. That kind of weird, like hesitant silence. that happens when somebody's not sure whether that was actually an invitation or not.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then the door opens, and your mother like just kind of pokes her head out through
Mm-hmm.
the part
We,
of the door.
I think we've only seen Oliver's parents once before,
Hmm.
Colette and Akio Hoshizora. It's so wild that obviously to inherit the surname, you have to have dad with that surname. But hey, that's how it be.
Yeah.
But yeah, hi, mom. I'm almost done here. I'm going to be stepping out in a little bit soon, though.
Yeah, okay, but you mind if we talk for a bit?
He says, hitting kind of like render and copy to device. You know what? Yeah. I'm done. So yeah. I've got time.
Okay. And she just like slowly closes the door behind her gently and sits on your bed and pauses for a moment as if to try to figure out what to say next, and then goes, "So,
Mm-hmm.
what have you been up to?"
Oh gosh. I mean, the most exciting thing is, well, I get to take part in the Soundclash today. That he tries to keep it cool, and then once the words like "I get to take part in the Soundclash today" kind of like leave his lips, and he's just beaming.
Um, she looks at you like briefly kind of confused, like she doesn't know what any of those words mean. Um, but when
It's a live music performance gig. I know it's not like the tennis practice that you're normally doing. I get that, you know.
no, it's fine. It's just like very slowly a smile like grows on her face, and she says, I don't think I've ever seen you this happy about anything."
Uh, uh, well, um,
It's fine. I mean, sometimes I forget I used to be your age. And that means I know what it felt like when my mother told me that doing things that I didn't want to do was going to make me happy, or was going to make me more successful, or whatever. And I'm sorry if that was what I ended up doing with you.
I um,
It's fine. You.
it's no. It's all good. Thank you. I suppose. I suppose. Well, when you say you've not seen me this happy, I mean I have to be happy all the time at school and when putting myself in front of other people. And I'm sure you know, even though you're not necessarily a music person, you know that in the world of performance, musicians kind of have to be happy outwardly all the time. So, you know, it's not weird. But you know, this entire time where he's trying to pass off the fact that his happiness isn't genuine, his eyes are still sparkling in a way that his eyes never sparkle when having to be happy and cheerful in his day-to-day outside.
Um, Very curiously, I want you to do. I first I want to ask an idle question, and then I want to see if you might need to do a thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
Your theremin is still in front of you. Well, something is still in front of you. We were playing something earlier.
Yeah, we've got our kind of like Moog synthesizer, I think, is probably what we've got going in front of us right now.
During this conversation, is your hand still touching it?
Let's say, yeah. I think this is I think there's probably a lot of idle fussing with it, even though it's out of eye line.
Mhm.
So, he needs to remember what kind of chords are in this thing, and he's kind of still mimicking the chords, even though he's not pressing down on the keys on this thing while having the conversation.
Cool. This is the moment when I try to trigger a catastrophe.
Mm,
I would like you to roll a tune for me.
absolutely.
How many dots do you have in a tune?
I have 2 dots in the tune, so it'll be at a +4.
Okay. Your position
Mm-hmm.
is controlled,
Mm-hmm.
and
Fair.
your effect is extreme, which hasn't come up yet in a session of Soundclash or Clampdown, but is going to come up now.
Mhm.
So will you be rolling a d12 or a d20?
I'm going to be rolling a d12
Okay.
for this one, because I don't want to accidentally blow up my own mother. And with that, 11, which I believe is a very, very good.
Yeah, if I'm
That is a full success.
right. Okay, cool. Nice. Um, there's this moment during this conversation, like you were just like your fingers are just kind of glancing the keys on your synthesizer. And like you idly hit a chord that sounds very very nice to you. Like it just like just you just note it silently to yourself. Hey, that actually sounds really good. Um, and when you look up from your fingers and back at your mother's face, who you've been kind of like awkwardly like glancing at and away from during this entire conversation, it seems like for a flicker of a moment that seems very very long to you as you see it, but is actually like barely an entire second. Your room is no longer your room. It feels like you are in this like grand ivory hallway with like gold accents on all of its windows and all of its archways leading out into what seems like this infinite garden outside. And your mother, who is still sitting on your bed in this hallway,
Mm-hmm.
is now dressed in this long white dress with floral accents.
Mm-hmm.
The otherwise kind relatively simple like brow line glasses that she typically wears now kind of seem more golden and more ornate on her face, but you can't really make out any distinguishing features about it, just that it seems fancier. Um, and she's still speaking to you as if you are still in your room, but you can't like you can hear her and understand her, but nothing's really like sinking in at this moment. All of her words just seem to like fade past you as you're still trying to take in this moment.
And I guess she notices me staring agog at her as I've got my fingers held down on this chord.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You
sorry. I lost focus for a second there.
just as you like kind of regain focus, you notice that there were like posters on the wall that seem to kind of appear and disappear as you were looking at them on those like hallway walls. And some of them had what you could have vaguely made out to be portraits of your mother with like text written around them like they were like inspirational posters that you'd see at like a high school or something.
Mm.
But now that you are out of this hallway, you can't register anything about them. You can't even remember what they exactly looked like. You just get vague
Mhm.
impressions of that sense.
You can't read text in your dreams, after all.
Yeah, pretty much. Um, and she looks at you like kind of strangely and is like, "What's what's wrong, Ollie?"
Uh, it's nothing. I just I guess I got caught up in the moment of it. But I'm glad. I'm glad I'm happy. I suppose. Is that a silly thing to say?
No, it's not. I'm glad that you're happy too. And she like um leans into you and gives you this very tight hug
Mm-hmm.
and whispers to you, "Knock him dead, all right?"
Oliver genuinely reciprocates the hug, and when they let go of each other, he's like, "This performance is going to be an open air thing at the library auditorium, but I don't know. Have you ever been to the Grand Concert Hall in this Hax?"
Um, a handful of times, yeah. For like um the random opera thing, or sometimes, but like not always. Why?
I don't know. It's, the music that I like working on, he gestures blithely to his kind of very wire heavy setup. It's probably not something that hall would be necessarily into, but I think I want to perform there one day, and it would be great if it was a circumstance that you could come see it. It's probably not going to be for a while though.
I'm sure that that's going to happen far sooner than you think, and I'd love to.
Well, here's hoping. And he gets up and does some stretches and kind of like slaps the side of his face to wake him up. I've got to go pack all this stuff and get to the bus stop, but I'll see you later. I'll tell you how it went on the other side.
Okay, best of luck. And she just kind of like gives you a nod and steps back out of your room. And it's at that point that you notice this like weird sensation on the back of your neck, almost as if something that is obviously not cloth has been resting on your neck very briefly. And when you investigate, you find a noise crystal.
Oh. Huh. Well, I can think of an interesting way I could put this to some good use today. Into the puffer jacket.
Nice. At which point, we definitely fade to the actual event this evening. So first I will ask, how do each of you get to the library amphitheater? Do you meet up somewhere first, or do you, or are you going to meet up when you get there?
Oliver heads straight there because the bus might take a while, he's also absurdly keen. So he's probably messaged to everybody being like, "I'm gonna go directly there. Although if you want me to meet up with you partway, I can do that."
Did we want to go over the song once together before getting there? Or do you want to do it there?
I mean, they have a green room, right? I'm gonna assume they have
Let's
a green
say
room.
yes.
It would be absurd if a performance stage didn't have one.
Okay, I'll see you there. And then there's a motorcycle emoji because that's how River's getting there.
Hell yeah.
Okay. Ava, how do you get there?
The bus. Because Ava doesn't drive.
Okay.
which is really funny. So you have this like leather-clad woman with a mask,
Oh my
with
god.
with like a different wig. I think it's like a long straight-haired black wig.
There is a shot of a child looking at you.
I I want you to give me I want you to give me a fortune roll. I want you to roll 1d20 for me, Ava.
Got it. Bam. 6. Radical.
Okay. That's better than all the alternatives that immediately came to mind. So okay, so 6 is not bad. So what kind of happens is, so you get on the bus, and you can sense that everybody is looking at you, but not because like they recognize you or anything like that, but because you're wearing a mask on the bus. Um, and as you like walk down to find a seat, one of like a very small child, like a 6 or 7 or 8 year old child, um, sitting in an aisle seat on the bus, just kind of like points at you and says, "Yeah," and says nothing more to you for the rest of the evening as you just sit down. And yeah, you will continue on your way to the amphitheater without much issue. Just wanted to know how people were going to respond to you on the bus. So Nachmat, how do you get to the amphitheater?
Good question. I think Nahmat probably walks.
Okay.
Considering what we know about them and the fact that like they often, considering they have to swim a lot to get to their like little secret cave area, I'm gonna establish that they're got a little bit of like fitness, right? So they probably just, I guess. Is the amphitheater in our hex, or is it? I'm assuming it's in our hex, right?
Oh yeah, it's in.
Yeah, then
it's
yeah.
in Sonata 6. It's
Then I'm gonna
actually.
establish they
It's
probably
actually not
walking.
much far. It's actually not very far from your cave. In
Okay.
fact. So yeah.
Is River the only one who can drive?
Yes. I think
Apparently,
so.
yes.
I think we've established that River is the only one with a vehicle who knows how to drive the vehicle that they own.
Oh.
So yeah, which obviously means first and foremost that you do reach there first. At which point you note that even though it's not done yet, and you have been ushered all the way to the green room, which is like a ways away from the actual amphitheater stage and the audience. Like they put together a little like half metal, half prefab kind of like trailer room area. That is like full of individual sitting arrangements for each band with like their own like snacks and drinks and like some roughly put together tech for if you wanted to do your own audio tests and stuff before getting on stage. And when you get there, when one of the stage managers ushers you to the a cordial eclectic trailer room, you notice that the trailers for Stella and the Horoscopes and Weda their doors are open. And that's how you know, like that's how you like kind of intuit at that point that they either have performed or are literally performing as you arrive.
Well, I'm gonna snoop. If I'm the only one here.
Oh my god, so okay, so what are you going to do? What is it that you would like to do at this moment?
Well, if they're open, how clear is it that the Accordial Eclectic area is definitely our area?
Um, it, all of the doors are marked with like a stage manager really just wrote your name on a sheet of paper and then stuck it to a door. Like
Okay.
they didn't even spell your band's name right. They just like put something on the door, and you can see similar, like roughly titled doors for the other three trailers.
So River's just going to straight up walk into the weirder one.
Okay. Nice.
This
So
is
you're
a
going.
public area. I'm allowed to do this. This
You
isn't
will
weird.
have to give me a.
Face in her head.
You will have to give me a roll. I need to figure out whether anyone notices you. First and foremost.
Sneak.
Okay. Do you have any dots in sneak?
I do have a dot in sneak.
Okay. So you will roll a d12 or a d20 plus 2. Your position is risky. Your effect is standard.
I'm gonna roll a d20.
Okay. Okay.
Boop. Cool. 21.
Delightful. So you strain.
Mm-hmm.
What it means when you strain on a sneak roll, I think, because this never occurred to me at this point until now. You straight up kind of disappear. Like, you are for a moment. Like, you are moving with a kind of preternatural awareness of your body in space that makes it seem to, like, the nearest stage manager, like literally stage manager who brought you to the trailer, turns around and you have Batman. You are no longer immediately in their line of sight.
Mood.
And they just kind of shrug and leave. And then and I'm giving you this information so you know that this is the lasting consequence. Because you can like still hear that stage manager around while you finally enter the other trailer. You hear footsteps outside stop, and then you hear the clicking of a walkie-talkie, and you hear that stage manager say to someone, "Yeah, I think I just lost one of the Accordial Eclectic folks. So they may be up to... I mean, right. Yes, boss. But I'm just saying, I feel like they're up to no good. So if you see, what's the name? River, right. If you see River Song or any of the other eclectic folks, we're probably gonna need to ask them some stuff. But yeah, I know that they're supposed to go live in a bit, but I don't know. Right, yes, I will check again in a bit, but I need to make my rounds. Okay, boss. Copy. And then they just click off their walkie-talkie and continue walking on their way. So you hear that while you're still inside. But now you can continue to whatever it is you had in mind.
Flick.
Or you're just gonna take a picture of the inside of the room?
Yeah, but should I make some sort of perception roll to see if there's anything of interest?
I think you should.
But I also, take just a standard old Pickaroonie HD, whatever my phone has.
Right. So okay. So here's what I will tell you in the interest of information. You can indeed just decide to take a picture. But then the quality of information that you gain from that picture will be determined by a fortune roll that will establish the quality of the photo such that um, like actually enlarging it will give you greater detail.
Enhance.
Um, you can also attempt to legitimately investigate on your own, which has a greater likelihood as a result of giving you more information dependent on the action roll that you take.
Mm-hmm. River is aware of the fact that her friends have been getting visions of people by them going into locations and then seeing what happened. So she doesn't really want to leave a trail. So the highest priority of this investigation is going to be not actually touching anything, so that there's no reason that things
Duly
can be
noted.
traced to her.
Okay,
Because
so
she knows she's not necessarily breaking any rules, which is her something she cares about dearly, but also she feels that inside feeling of naughtiness that goes against her nature, but it appears that some friends are rubbing off bad qualities
okay, noted.
on her behavior.
Okay, so give me a fortune roll. Roll 1d20.
4.
You attempt to take a photograph, and the flash is so bright that the photograph that you take out is just 70% pure light just leaning in from the top right corner.
Oh, good. And she was shaking because she was nervous. It's the blurry mess.
Yeah? So you can either surrender at this point or try again with any of the two options that you still have remaining.
She's just gonna try and take in the scene of the room with her eyes.
Okay. Give me a study roll. How many dots do you have in study?
I just gotta have study. I have 2 dots in study.
Nice. So you will roll a d12 or a d20 plus 4. Your position.
12 time. That makes it a 14, which is that the best success? Which success is that? It is the best success.
Okay, nice. I was about to tell you that your position was desperate, so mark accordingly, and your effect is standard. Right. In this trailer, you notice 2 like soft cover black note journals on like the table where the snacks are. You notice very idly, by the way, that they've touched nothing to eat and nothing to drink in this trailer. So those 2 journals are present. You notice like some plastic wrappers, like some clear plastic wrappers underneath the table. But like you can't obviously make out because of how they're torn what they were for. You notice a pair of like dirty tennis shoes. And beside those tennis shoes, you notice the slowly fading carpet imprint of what may have been a pair of heels or platforms. What else is present in this room that is of absolute note? Right, you notice that on the other side of the table, far away from those 2 notebooks, there is like a small like pad of sticky notes that you can tell even from like just standing by the door. Someone wrote something on them, like directly onto them, and took off one of those sticky notes. So if you wanted to investigate that further, that is a thing that you could do.
I would
Um,
like to take that top sticky note, but not do anything with it yet.
Okay. I mean, that's like a trivial thing to do. You just do it. But other than that, this seems like the thing that you notice the most is it seems remarkably bare, and like the only things that seem immediately noteworthy or of value are those two journals.
There's a little thought bubble anime style that goes into her head, thinking, what would Nachmat do?
Is that good life advice to follow?
You're the Snoopy one. We're having this conversation head to head in my thought bubble.
The like imaginary Nachmat you picture goes, is following me really wise?
You're the Snoopy one.
Yes, and that's a good thing?
You're just me, except with Nachmat's face. Get out of here.
Fine. Poof.
Brushes away that thought bubble. Yes, okay.
So said there was a carpet. Is the carpet on the entire trailer, and is she leaving footprints?
Right. I will say, because of your role, you are stepping on the carpet in such a way that while it would be immediately obvious that someone was in this room, it will not be immediately obvious that it was you, or even that it was humanoid. That you're essentially just tiptoeing inside this room right now. And no one will
Okay.
be able to identify your
Secret
steps.
dog.
Yep, and she takes that sticky note, and she's going to photograph the plastic wrappers in the notebooks, and then she's gonna sneak out because she doesn't want to touch the notebooks.
So you didn't open the notebooks, you just took photos of the fact that the notebooks were there.
Are they labeled in any way?
Nope, just pure black. One looks older than the other. That's all you can tell. One looks like more creased and more worn, but...
Nope, River would not touch the notebook. She's like, it's enticing, but I can't. It's too much. I've already done so much. She
Okay.
just walks out.
Give me another D20 roll.
Ah, no. There's so many tabs open. It's a 3.
Still just bare light coming in through the
Yeah,
sensor
this
of
needs
that
an update.
camera phone. I'm really sorry.
Needs an update. Yeah.
Right, and you step out just in time to notice, one, that your bandmates have just arrived. And are being guided to the trailer by a stage manager as well. Like, you come out just in time for the stage manager not to have noticed where you were. You just
Okay.
standing by the door.
Yeah. Is there a way I can say... Is there any way I can make it look like that I was totally in our trailer the whole time?
Oh no, yeah, like, you don't when everyone sees you, it looks like you've just been standing outside the door to your trailer the entire time.
Okay. And she looks fake casual. Like she totally didn't do anything sneaky.
Yeah, definitely. You can tell that the stage manager is looking at you like, where the, you know what, whatever, and just lets you all through. You notice at the exact same time that everyone arrives, that there is a lot of ruckus coming from the amphitheater stage, but that thing where when you stand behind loudspeakers, you can't hear a damn thing that's being said. Yeah, you just hear that something has happened. It sounds like a bout of the clash has just ended, or that otherwise someone is making some announcement that the audience is responding very delightfully to, loud, uproarious cheering from the audience. But you can't tell what it is. You can't make out anything that was actually said. But beyond that, you are all now in the same space.
Hey, yeah, you made it. I got here first.
As fast as I could. And, like Oliver is in the Ophiuchus embroidered, like organdy bomber jacket that he was wearing at the kind of like debut arrival. So he's already in gear, although not as dressed up as Eva is.
I mean, I guess I thought this is how a drummer would dress, you know, and I'm just.
I mean, no, you're killing it. That's definitely not me telling you you're dressed inappropriately.
Nachman also looks great.
Mm-hmm.
Do we know who just won?
For this one? Oh, sorry, I talked over you. Go ahead.
No, sorry, I also we talked over each other. I was asking if we know who just won, but you were asking and I couldn't make out.
Oh, what is Nakamatsu going for in terms of outfit this time?
Oh yes, I would like to hear that first. Are you muted? I can't hear you.
Whoops. I am in fact muted, it seems.
You're good now, I can hear you.
I was going to say, are y'all dressed in different outfits from what we dressed up in when we went for the like promotional?
Oliver is in the same outfit as the promotional,
Yeah,
although
so-
he has makeup on this time.
I think Nakamatsu had more time to add like flavoring touches to the attire.
Mhm.
But the same core outfit. And so it's the same like lab coat over her bandwear look.
Okay.
I love that so much.
We should also ask then, River, what are you wearing?
I recall dressing pretty nice for the promo, so same outfit there, but also, at the moment, a cool black leather jacket for motorcycling, and she's holding a helmet on the side, but it's all nice and wavy with like neon green highlights in her long hair.
I like the idea that it's kind of like recital wear, also with leather jacket
Yeah.
that slaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, like I believe Nakamatsu's outfit, if I remember correctly, was like lead singer clothes with a lab coat over it. So like,
Yeah.
whatever you picture for that.
Lead scientist / singer.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I like
with
it.
the lab coat, I think like one of the sleeves was also ripped off. And like I said, had more time to add touches, so there's like splotches of paint and color at various points on the lab coat that like are half look like like chemical spills, but also very clearly like the whole like kind of splotches of color aesthetic going on.
Love
Mhm.
it.
So I will say now that while you're all like admiring each other's looks, the stage manager that brought the three of you skips back towards you a little bit and says, "Hey, you're gonna be on in 15. The first bout just finished. Got it? And like are ready to like go back over
Okay,
to
are
wherever
you
they're being
guys taking
called."
my kid on stage? Or am I taking my kid on stage in 15?
Oh, we can set up for you if you want. Just I'll send some other folks to get all of your gear and put it up for you.
Thank you.
And as they leave, you can hear them like pinging their walkie-talkie as they walk off.
A little bit of a Deva moment.
Hey, River, well, you said you good? You said you were here first. Did anything happen? You sound a little off.
I got here first, and I may have slipped the view of the stage managers and checked out what Weirda's room looked like.
Oh. Okay. What'd you find out?
You were all taking so long. I was
The bus was slow. What do you want from me?
We have 15 minutes till showtime.
As you are making this observation, by the way, you notice while like still clearing is going on, and like you can't make out exactly what it is, but you can hear like a DJ is playing some kind of interstitial music on stage while everybody's like still clearing and doing whatever. And you all notice like out of in your periphery that Stella and the horoscopes are making their way to their um, trailer as we speak.
Ava's like, I know this is important, especially because I'm really proud of you for like suspicious breaking and entering to a murderer.
No, it wasn't breaking and entering. It's not against the rules. They didn't tell
I
us
feel
we
like there's
couldn't.
like a collective moment of all of us staring at River, just like
Like Oliver's looking like, all right, I see. Gonna keep yourself into, but he's not necessarily saying anything. He's not looking at you judgingly necessarily.
I think they disconnected for like half a second.
Oh, it's cool. Oliver's just kind of like also staring, but not accusingly, and they're kind of like, all right, go ahead, girl.
Nefmet isn't judging River for the breaking and entering. Nefmet is judging River for denying that it's breaking and entering. It's fine that it's breaking and entering. Just like own up to it, you know? It's fine. It's chill. You all do.
I didn't break anything.
Breaking and entering in here.
Ava does want to check up on the girls though.
Okay. Before you actually walk up to them, I would like you to give me a study roll.
While this is
Study.
happening, may I be excused for maybe less than 10 minutes while this scene is occurring? I need to rehydrate myself.
Yes. Feel free.
Sure. Apologies, everybody. I'll be right back.
This is a perfect use of a safety tool called open door policy, in which people can leave the table for any reason and come back when they need to. It's also good for anyone watching that if you need to take a break from what's going on, while I remember what my study role is, you know.
Because I was going to take a break, but I do want to ensure that we actually get to do music things. So I will try to be as quick as possible.
On this music stream, for sure.
Is that
Okay.
a regular success?
I believe
Right.
a 9 is a minor success, if I'm not mistaken.
I'll figure it out. I got the draft rules here. It's a regular success. It's the bottom of a regular success. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Right,
Love
which
it.
is
You
good.
love to see it.
Cool. Because the thing that you notice with your study roll is, you catch the lead of Stella and the horoscopes. Just as you turn to them, you catch just when they're about to like wipe tears from their eyes and walk into their trailer door. And then they like see you looking at that the entire like band sees you looking at them, and like they like stiffen a little bit, but you can tell that they're very eager to just like get into their trailer and not have to talk to anyone.
Damn it. Can I, sort of rolling it back, I know that I was asking about who was going off, but I'm sure someone was streaming the event. Right? Like as it was going on. Is there any way that I could have watched their match on the way there to the bus, or is that not possible? This is now an emotions heist.
I will say, I mean, it has to have been possible that right. So it isn't. So there aren't any live streams of the event, unfortunately, because Devlin Promotions kind of locked down on like anybody attempting to stream the event live, but there are clips of the first bout on Discord. Um, some of them as long as the entire bout or each individual performance in that bout that you can find very easily right now if you wanted to look at them. But beforehand, there wasn't anything live, unfortunately.
I think she just wants to catch the end before she intercepts for this emotional heist to try and say that she's proud of the girls.
Okay. So what I will say is the end that you do see is Stella and the horoscopes are actually very, very good. Um, and they did do like a very bright kind of poppy number, but the choreography that they used to perform um, leaned just a little bit into the risque side, but nothing like terribly, terribly problematic. But as a teacher, you could just like, why was this the decision that was made? But you didn't catch Wader's performance, and you still noticed that at the end, the judge's tally of that performance says that Wader won that bout.
Yeah, I think she's just gonna try and sort of like, because stopping to watch that, I'm sure that the girls make it to their trailer, and Ava wants to sort of walk up to the trailer and knock.
Oh no, you still catch them in time, like
Okay.
before. I'm gonna say that you managed to see this actual clip long before they um, decided to head to their trailer. So you can talk to them outside if you want.
Yeah, I think she's just trying to like come up and say, "Hey, I'm proud of how you did, guys."
Uh, Thanks, Miss P. Um, best of luck in your bout too. And you can tell like they're like not like they are not in the mood to be like praised at the moment. You can still like vaguely tell, but they do accept it as gracefully as possible and just kind of duck inside their trailer.
Could have gone better, and she's gonna come back around to the group.
Um, at which point a stage manager comes back to you and says, right, on in 10, and like gestures to two stagehands to their right, and they just kind of like one of them starts picking up anything that is still in a case. So like they're picking up Oliver's synth and River's fiddle, and like just like throwing things that are not supposed to be easily like just like shouldered, just kind of embracing them on their shoulder as if they have no worry at all as to what that weight is going to do to their body, and just start taking off towards the stage. And the other one, the other stagehand whistles, and everything else starts levitating, and they are like slowly start like they keep whistling their way towards the stage as everything is just like hovering just like a foot and a half off the ground. The stage manager tries to like talk to them to tell them exactly how everything is supposed to be set up, and just very briefly their whistle kind of wavers a bit and things almost collide to the ground, and then they just like pick it back up and continue. And
Only
then
meaning to whistle while you work.
oh god. And then the stage manager turns to you all and says, "So you're ready to go? Because y'all could just like stand backstage until you're called."
Ready as we'll ever be, I suppose.
Okay, cool. Follow me. And you all make it to backstage. The stagehands go right ahead on in front of the stage and start putting things together, and then like as you arrive backstage, you see the members of Noah get the boat, in like red and black tracksuits. The colors of which seem like bigger than they should be for tracksuits. Like they seem less like the colors of tracksuits and more like the colors of Dracula's cape for no real reason. And like you can see the individual performer names of each member of the group on the back of their tracksuits. So that's Captain Noah, DJ Big Bangra, and MC Shell.
DJ Big Banger.
I'm sorry, I just
I
had
love them.
to. And Captain Noah kind of salutes to you as you get backstage, and then you notice Devlin steps like through them, doesn't even like really shove them aside. He just keeps walking and they shift around him. And then he walks up to Ava and says, "Ah, so you're all here, ready to go?"
I'm gonna look back at everyone like, I don't make these decisions. I am the drummer. I keep the beat. I don't lead the band.
Yep, we're all playing Starfall River Checks.
Indeed.
I hope so, since that's the only music I have.
Okay, cool. So and then he turns to Noah Get the Boat and says, "You all ready to go?" And MC Shell says, "Yeah, definitely." So Devlin starts rubbing his hands and says, "Okay, so the only thing that needs to be done before anybody touches stage is, I guess, we decide who goes first. So unless somebody wants to relinquish, you can flip a coin."
Ooh. Leaving up to fate sounds exciting.
Flip it.
Alright, cool. So he stops rubbing his hands together, and when he parts them, there is this large gold coin, like as big as a hand, right,
Oliver is delighted.
just like in the middle of his palms, and he says, "So whose heads, whose tails?"
Oh, heads, for sure.
MC Shell says, "Tails for us then." And then Devlin clasps his hands together again, and the coin totally disappears in his hands. And then when he opens them again, a smaller version of that same gold coin starts flipping up into the air. And I am now going to roll a D2 in roll 20 and see what this looks like.
Which one's heads with some
Two-Face,
sails?
Harvey Dent, Batman, villain, shenanigans.
Assume one is heads. Staring very intently at the roll 20 now.
Oh no, I GM rolled it, so only Twitch gets to see. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm on
Wow.
Twitch. Haha.
Avert your
It's a
eyes from the
one.
Twitch channel.
So-
Immediately look away.
I had decided before you said anything, Nathan, that one was
Aye.
actually tails.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So Noah Get the Boat gets first. How much time do we still have time. Cool. So we get to actually do the thing. Devlin like looks at the coin as it like kind of collides with the ground. There's this moment where it hits the ground and looks as if it is reacting like a coin of its size and weight should, but you don't hear anything. It just does the thing, and then he just picks it up, clasps his hands again and starts rubbing them again and says, "Okay, cool. So the rap group goes first. Everybody cool with that?"
So it be, I suppose.
The other band nods and like, "Okay, cool. So an announcer will call you all by name. You'll just enter stage and do your thing. You're all set up. don't worry about like how long it takes for somebody to move one set of equipment to the other. Those stagehands will handle those things lickety split. So all you have to do is get on the mic and do your thing. This is a big deal. And like he glances between all of you. This is a very big deal. Don't blow this. Embarrassing yourself also embarrasses this show. Outside of that, knock 'em dead. Do what you need to do. I will be somewhere drinking something until this is over. But if you need me, let a stage manager know. They'll reach out to me. I highly doubt that you should. So later, and he just storms back out of backstage.
Oh, thanks for the inspiring speech.
I'm kind of tempted to embarrass myself now. It means embarrassing him.
Tempting.
I'm gonna give him a show.
If we had more than 15 minutes, I would plan a way that embarrassed the show without embarrassing ourselves. Alas.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like the only thing that we can do now is crush it.
If we must.
That's what he wants.
Don't say it like that. I will not want to perform.
Oh god. And then you see Captain Noah walk over to you all and put a hand out and says, "May the best team win."
I think Ava goes for the handshake.
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
There was definitely an equal second that we all just had of staring at the hand, wondering who was going to take it. It offers one hand to a whole group of people.
Yeah, right?
And like while he's shaking your hand, he just says, "Oh, and by the way, I think I've seen you on Discord. That stuff you all did with the authorities, really fucking dope. Really glad that somebody gets to speak truth to power these days. Sometimes they don't even give us the opportunity to speak at all."
Should I just get rid of the mask, guys? Should I just thank you? I mean, you gotta look out for your neighborhood. You gotta look out for your community and your neighbors. But should I just get rid of the mask? I mean, I feel like it's not.
They lean in and say, "Oh no, the mask is working. I mean, it's the four of you, right? I just put 2 and 2 together. But if I'm not supposed to say anything, secret safe with me."
I just don't want my boss to get on my case too quickly.
Oh no, I get it. Whatever you don't want anybody else to know, dies backstage. But
yeah, you three can have all the fame, and she's gonna gesture her back by the name and Oliver.
So yeah, best of luck. We'll see how this bout goes. Knock 'em dead, right? And then he just kind of like skips back to his crew. And just then you hear the announcer call out. And for the first performance of this second bout, Noah, get the boat. Uproarious cheering from everyone in the audience, and a stage manager now gestures to you all and goes, like, they're not like mouthing anything even. They just kind of point at you all, and then point up the staircase that is past them, on the other side of backstage. And when you when you look up from that staircase, you notice that it leads to a room backstage, and that the ajar door of that room reveals part of what can only be either a very large projector screen or a very large TV.
On their way up, Ava reiterates, seriously, I don't want fame if we win this. You guys can have all the fame. Let me be the anonymous drummer.
I'm not sure if you have a choice.
I like to pretend that I do.
feel like we could somehow swing the anonymous drug brigade. It's got like a whole mysterious vibe to it. I'm sure it'd work.
Let's cross that bridge when we get to it.
I guess
Okay.
we've got to go and get that thing first.
So, because I know that my GM roles are being spied on Twitch,
No,
No,
not
I
shooting.
averted my eyes. Like I said. So I
I
did
have
it.
to really focus to see them, so I'm not gonna do it.
I'm going to do some things. So, um, the way that performance works for all bands in a Soundclash, including NPC bands, is that um, a song is performed in parts. As previously discussed, that starts from the intro and leads into verses and a chorus and bridges or solos, if any, all the way down to the outro. And each of those parts are defined by which individual members of the band are performing in each of those sections. So it's possible for instance, a verse in a song to be just beat and melody, or beat, melody, and harmony, and then for the chorus to introduce the rhythm and then lead into a solo that is the rhythm alone or the rhythm and another and another member. And each part is therefore rolled to see essentially if that individual part of the song sucked or not.
Mm-hmm.
Which sounds very cruel because the chances are, statistically speaking, that everyone will do majorly well. What this also means is, the better a section does, the higher the likelihood of any of its individual tags coming into any of the general song's individual tags coming into play, which can have physical or social effects on the audience's reaction to the song, which can be like simply whether they enjoyed it, or also whether a thing happens that is outside of the audience's control, which we're now going to kind of experience right now. In fact, no. I am in fact going to roll for everybody to see this, just so this can be a learning experience for us all, because this is the first time that I'm actually getting to this point in the game. So, Noah Get the Boat gets on stage, and MC Shell touches the like as you are seeing on screen in the room that you've now entered, and this TV is massive. Like, an individual string of pixels is revealing to you one whole person in the audience. Is how big this TV is. Like, it seems almost like unrealistically huge. Like somebody had just taken a real life TV by its corners and just clicked enlarge. And so MC Shell takes the mic at the center of the stage, whistles to it, and it starts like changing color and shape. Like the back of like the bottom of this wireless mic starts looking like the hull of a ship, and like it starts like turning like red brownish gradient all across like the handle of the mic. And she says, "Yo, I'm MC Shell, and this is Noah Get the Boat. This is the first time that we're doing anything like this live in front of an audience like this. So I hope that you're ready to rock out like we're ready to rock out. Are you ready to rock out?" And the audience starts like you can tell like there is some hesitation in the audience, but the audience is like mostly willing to give them back that energy. And then Shell points to the rest of the group. DJ Big Bangra is at a very large turntable. Like it doesn't look so much as a turntable anymore, and looks like the console of the bridge of a Star Trek starship.
Mm-hmm.
And Captain Noah has like what was just like a synth and like this nondescript black box right next to it, and he kicks the black box and it kind of unfurls into this large glass case like the size of a police box, but like totally clear on all sides, like that totally envelops him. But it seems as if his hands can like pass clean through the glass whenever he wants. And Captain Noah gives MC Shell a thumbs up. And MC Shell turns to the audience and says, "We're gonna do a song called Kill the Lights. I hope you enjoy it." And like gives a thumbs up back to Captain Noah, who starts beatboxing inside the glass case. Let's roll a d12. It falters a little bit. There is a moment when it feels like this is not a professional beatboxer. This sounds like something that somebody's like idly doing at school.
Boots and cats and boots and cats.
Yes, it sounds like Siri is doing it. And then it just kind of like picks up just a little bit. And there's this moment when it picks up that Oliver, while you're watching it, it looks almost unrealistically like this is not beatboxing. It still sounds genuinely pure and natural, but it looks as if it's not actually happening in Captain Noah's mouth anymore. Like it's
visual desync. Like Oliver muttering to himself, like in a shonen anime where somebody does a special attack, and there's some dude with glasses on the side being like, "Oh yes, this technique."
Yeah. And while that's happening, DJ Big Bangra starts like flipping very large switches on his turntable console that switch from light blue to a very deep red, and you can hear like whirring sounds come from it. And then he puts his hand very gently on one of the turntables. And it looks to you as if it is not moving. His hand looks like it's not moving right now. But you are hearing the wickedest one disc scratch that you have ever heard a professional turntablist ever do. Like you can even though his hand is not moving, you can still see like something's happening on this turntable at like a speed and effectiveness that you cannot register with your eye. And then MC Shell starts to spit. And there is no like this hasn't risen, like the beat hasn't risen to a point of like genuine intensity yet. It sounds like something is still building. But MC Shell is still determined to join. And very briefly, like almost like loses it, like almost like loses the beat for a little bit, and then gets back into it. And I mean, without going into having no lyrics for this performance, because I actually did want to write verses for this for fun, but this this first verse is like very intensely poetic, has a lot of internal and end rhymes that are just kind of um, syncopating the verse itself on its own. And the lyrics themselves are about like the importance of sacrificing yourself in the service of something that is bigger than you, but it's telling the story of an unnamed local here in the Clefs who got in a fight with the cops.
Uh-oh.
Ava, there is a brief moment in time, Ava, as you're listening to this, that you're like, wait, is that me? But they're not like going into great detail about um where it happened or why the cops were there. So you are just like waiting to hear details, essentially. Um, which is when suddenly everything starts joining in at this point. So I'm gonna roll. Let's see what 3d12 looks like. Ooh, yeah. But I am going to mark that 112. Because that is noteworthy. So in the wider context of that band, that's actually not that bad. Um, there is an obvious moment when it does like you can hear like something was not supposed to happen on that stage. There is a little bit of feedback that kind of creeps into MC Shell's mic. There is a pause that you can audibly, that Oliver in particular and Natmat can audibly notice. Something was supposed to fill that space, but DJ Big Bangra does catch up very quickly. The hook, in fact, in fitting with a rap group called No I Get the Boat, the hook is a very deep, bassy male voice repeating the words 300 cubits by 50 cubits after every time DJ Big Bangra scratches. And like there was that moment of faltering, but they catch up very quickly. But MC Shell is on the ball. Like the speed of their flow is picking up. The lyrics are becoming more intricate and more complex. There's a moment where, as you're listening to it, it feels less like the instruments are serving her and more like she's the main instrument and everybody else is just harmonizing for her. And in the audience, you can notice now that people who were like, it looks to you just like glancing at the audience that people who were just like idly enjoying themselves are now like putting fists in the air and like turning to each other with these kinds of like triumphant looks on their faces. Even though this is a rap performance, there is a mosh pit that is gathering to like the rightmost corner of this space that is keeping utmost time with MC Shell's flow. And as that keeps going, right, yeah, still not bad. There is like this obvious kind of growth of energy in the audience as the performance keeps going. There are like you can notice in the crowd individually there are people who are fist bumping in time with DJ Big Bangra's scratches. Like people are like getting into the groove, even though they don't know the words to the song. They're trying to fill in as much spaces as possible so they can be a part of this performance. Um, and like just looking at this performance from the TV, it looks like they have successfully gotten this audience full of people who didn't really know what they were getting into when they got here, or in have been like sufficiently sold on the quality of this performance, and then everything just kind of dips back down, all the way back to um, Captain Noah's beatboxing. Noteworthy.
Strain, baby, strain.
Oh yeah.
Push yourself on the finale, yeah?
Might as well.
Just as he starts this beatbox solo, the glass of his glass case shatters, and when it shatters, it starts changing color kaleidoscopically. Like individual shards are turning red, green, purple, flying all the way into the crowd, and it's like actively colliding with people, and they seem totally unfazed by it. Like it's not like actually cutting them or hurting them or anything. It's just like bouncing off them essentially, and he is going like full Mattis Yahoo interlude beatbox right now. Like this is top quality Slick Rick esque 100% bona fide beatbox, top tier. And there is like this moment where like the individual members of the crowd that you saw were like really getting into it are now like some of them are beating their chest in time with the beatbox. Some of them are like greeting each other by like giving them very like people you can tell in this space probably don't know each other, probably are meeting each other for the very first time, dapping each other up in this crowd. People are like cheering at each other instead of cheering at the stage now. Things are like the audience is now like not just fully invested in this song, but fully invested in what this song was about in a way that seems to be like actively bringing them together. And then everybody finally gets back into that last verse. Oop. Let me actually roll 3d20 is what I wanted to do. Right, yeah, that's another one. It is at this moment that I need any one of you, before I describe this thing, if you are willing, you can give me a study roll where your position is where your position is risky and your effect is great, except for Ava, who has to give me an attune roll instead, and whose position is desperate.
Want some of that XP?
And mark that desperate as noted.
Definitely. A tune is flow, right?
Yes.
Alright, so I get 1 point in flow. Okay. And I get to use my new 3 attune.
Oh.
Oh wow, delightful.
Yeah. So I'll hold up.
A
And
6 to the roll. That's big.
Pretty purely D12 territory there.
Oh
Now
yeah.
there's a minor success no matter what.
Mm.
Did that go?
I do not think so. I have
didn't
no idea
quite.
what
It's
just happened.
slash roll.
Mm.
That's. I use so many rolling thoughts. I use. Whoo, right on the point of straining, but I did it. That's a full success, baby.
Nice, cool. Is anyone else going to study?
I have no points in study, so I am gonna.
I have 2
Okay.
points in study.
I can go for study.
I'll give that a roll.
Okay,
Misa.
because I just want to know who notices things.
Yeah. I'll go for the study myself.
Oh, with that I have a 14, which makes that a also extra good success.
I have the opposite of that.
You rolled a
You have-
D2.
Yeah, you rolled a
I
D2.
did roll a
Yeah,
D2.
that's that.
Wow.
Yeah.
That would explain that.
You. I don't know if you didn't want to learn
You
anything.
rolled the best. You could have.
Okay, there you go.
There we go. Complete success and 2
Okay.
stellar successes.
Okay. Right.
Notice it all.
Right. So Nakhmat and River, you know this. You notice this because you've obviously heard bits and pieces of this melody before, in ways that it's been reproduced in the clefs by the authority, by locals, by like brands during like holidays or whatever weirdness. Ava, you obviously noticed this because you've heard this in its purest natural form. As part of this segment of this song, somewhere like accidentally in between DJ Big Bangra's scratching and Captain Noah's beatboxing, you can hear the frequency in its pure, unadulterated entirety. This is not a facsimile. This is not someone attempting to recreate it. You are hearing something that is as close as possible to having heard End of Isolation for the very first time. Just like what is essentially just the drum break of that original frequency. You are hearing that pure in this moment. And when you experience like hearing that, it brings you back to the moment of having heard it for the first time. It feels for a moment like you're not even here anymore. As for the both of you, like as for Riva and Nakhmat, you are noticing this purely on an academic level. You're like, oh, that's what that is. And it's because you have the opportunity to notice that academically that Katie, what was your role again?
14.
14. Right. You are the person who notices it first. A hole opens in the sky. Like based on the dimensions of the TV that you're looking at right now, you can guess that this is like a 10-foot diameter hole has just opened in the evening sky. It's like it vaguely resembles the kind of heavenly sky-esque halo that opened around Ava's head that one time in that apartment. But the sky is more like lime greenish, and it looks like the clouds are moving very, very quickly. And that hole opens, and you see a large dark object fall out of that hole, and then the hole closes. And then, because you are like present and watching this on TV, you notice, like you can hear very vaguely the sound of sirens playing outside of the range of the amphitheater. And you notice that even though you can't like see all the way to that wall of the hex, you know that there are there is an authority station at one of the hex vertices, and you notice this like the silhouette of a large pillar rise up out of that authority station, and it looks like very grainily on TV, like it starts to light up. And while this large object is still falling from the sky, you see a large blue bolt come out of that pillar and hit that large object while it is still in midair, and it starts like break up into small pieces that seem to be glittering on the way down. And then the TV feed cuts out, and you can hear like footsteps rushing up the staircase outside, and a stage manager comes and is like, okay, so the feed's been cut. So I guess if you want to watch the rest of the shows, their act is almost done, so I guess you could just come back down as well. But like, maybe don't look at anything digital for a bit, while some authority figures work some stuff out. We're presently on the phone with authority heads as we speak. Like, cool, let's just... And they reach for the remote for the TV, take the TV off, and usher you back downstairs. By which time the performance is already done. You can hear the audience cheering, and Devlin you can hear Devlin's voice on the mic on stage saying, "Give it up for? No, I get the boat." And the crowd's still going very wild. And now, next up, let's give a large round of applause for our next performance in this bout. A Cordial Eclectic. And the same energy is coming back. And, like, as you are still coming down, you see Captain Noah come through the stage curtain first. And he is wide-eyed with shock about something. But then he like glances up at you all coming down the staircase and just shrugs, gives his usual salute, and then as the rest of the band comes out, they just make it off backstage and back to their not all the way off stage, but a significant way past backstage, into like the grassy area beyond the backstage staircase. And the stage manager is like rushing you all on stage.
Ready to do this?
Yeah, I'm ready to rock. What? Just out of character, Katie, what time is it where you are?
8:20.
Right. Okay. Just checking in terms of time measurement.
Do we want to do our intro and cut out on that, or do we want to cut out here as we're getting on?
Yeah, it is inching up on 8:30 for us.
Because I definitely did want you all to close with like actually seeing the audience for the first time.
Okay.
Alright,
So
let's
like
do it.
right, so you all get on stage. Devlin looks at you all and goes, he is close enough to Ava, so Ava is the person who hears him clearest when he whispers, "Whatever that was, either do it better or don't do it." And like he's pointing at the sky, and then he just walks past the curtain.
I try and whisper to Ava, "Do we have a way of making the exact same sized hole?"
That was the frequency, River. That was part of the frequency, and so, I mean, I know y'all were a little young when y'all heard it, but I think we can do it.
Well, let's go. Nachmat, you're up.
Oh, someone hand me the mic. Like center downstage, like barely like
2 feet away from the very edge of the stage is a mic stand with the mic. And as you approach it, you like you can just like feel the eyes of hundreds of people like staring back at you.
Nuts
Yeah,
smiles and walks up towards it. What was the band name? The band we that just played again? Sorry.
Noah, get the boat.
No, get the boat. Perfect. So Nagma will walk up to the mic, grab it with like a flip around the arm, hold it up to their mouth, and go. Let's give it up one more time for Noah in the boat. First time performance is always something special.
yeah, and crowd goes wild. People are like putting their whole fists in the air and stuff, like going crazy for no, I get the boat.
But no, fun fact, this is also our first time performance, but we want to note that this isn't just any first time performance. You all here in the audience, you know what you're in for, right? Come in a little closer so I can tell you.
What are we in for?
You are in for the first ever live performance of the future champions of Soundclash.
I'm going wild. And just like as you say that, just for the camera's sake, we see the camera pan up and out of the entire amphitheater, just seeing all of the lights and hearing all of the sounds of everybody like cheering for the idea that you know for a fact that you are the future champions of the Soundclash. And we will close right there.
What?
Ooh.
I really wanted there to be enough time for y'all to also do the thing, but it means that we start the next session with a bang because y'all just get to go right into performing for the very first time. How do you feel about what just happened?
Excited. Super
Yeah,
excited.
excited to try it out ourselves.
She could have said, "Hey Noah, what's up?" But that's what we got.
Sorry to do this to you.
Oh god. I am very excited to see you all actually get into your first performance. I'm very excited to see how that last performance pays off in the future. But until then, until our next session of Soundclash the Clampdown, I'm going to ask each of you to introduce yourselves to the lovely people in the audience once more. Tell people who you are, what you do, and where people can find you next. Starting with Vale.
Hey guys, as you've seen me tonight, I am Vale. I use he and they pronouns. You can find my voice if you want more of it on the podcast Kingdom Hearts: A Forgotten Era, where I play a dark himbo. And we are in a bunch of fun Disney worlds. On Off the Table this Wednesday, we'll be doing episode 3 of Pasión de las Pasiones, where things are also super heating up, and I play the evilest character I've ever played. It's very fun. I'm a very bad person in that show, and I usually have to apologize to my co-stars. I'm just like, I'm so sorry on every break, and everybody's like, no, it's so messy, it's awesome. And it's a perfect time to catch up on Off the Table's Monster of the Week campaign, the Burn Bunch, because we'll be coming back with that soon with Russ Wild as our GM for season 2, where we are trying to search for an apocalypse beast. It's awesome. You can find all of my ideas on Twitter at VillainVicencio, and you can find stuff to buy, playbooks on itch.io, and I am almost done with new things for the honor, so be on the lookout.
Nice. And also, I just definitely also want to shout out Off the Table because they do a lot of really dope stuff. So definitely check out not only the Burnt Bunch and Passion de las Pasiones, but a lot of Off the Table's content is really, really good. So if you're looking for more tabletop stuff to view at some point in the future, definitely check out their stuff. Next, Nathan.
Hi, hello. I am a one robot sold out show, Nathan Blades. Thank you so much for having me on this stream. You can find my content and my streams at twitch.tv/the Neoncaster. Because of some stuff going on in the real world at the moment, my number of streams will be reduced over the next month or so, but our next stream will be on May 8th, where we will be playing a hack of Mork Borg. Under which I will be a player of rather than GMing, but I am helping produce it. It's going to be a funky dystopian sci-fi adventure using the same gritty medieval nonsense that Mork Borg is. Also, and I don't know whether I am able to post links in chat as a person on the show or not, but I recently got several copies of the Ultimate Micro RPG book from Simon & Schuster in the mail, and that's fantastic. I'm going to be giving those to people who send me recordings of my games being played. So if you would like a free signed copy of the Ultimate Micro RPG book, which has games by both myself, Amma, and Brandon in it, all you need to do is go play one of my MFing games, record it, and send it to me.
Nice, definitely. I cannot stop singing the praises of the Ultimate Micro RPG game book. So if you want to get a copy signed by our Nathan Blades, definitely check that out. I mean, the book is good. Nathan's games are good. So the win-win. Next, Katie.
Hello, I have been Katie Chin playing River Song for you tonight. I do not have quite so many projects going on, especially in the tabletop RPG sphere, but if you want to hear my voice somewhere else, you can listen to Valence Podcast, an urban fantasy audio drama where I play Grace, a government bureaucrat doing her best trying to wrangle all of these disaster children. Let's see, if you want to find me, you can find me on the links provided in the chat. And stay tuned for what's going to happen in the summer, because school's going to be over and I'm going to have time to do stuff. And I should.
Okay, I hope that means some comedy stuff as well. So we'll look out for that, of course. And last but not least, Amr.
Hi, I'm Amr Emraz. I'm everywhere on the internet at Emraz. Currently, you can find more of my face and voice on Saturdays, both morning and evening, where I'm doing double streams. On mornings, you can catch me on the Lark Network as part of an Alban Pop Masks game, which is phenomenal. It's set in a city created by our GM, inspired by the town they grew up in back in Sudan. And that's the entire setting inspiration. In the evenings, you can catch me over on Wandering DM's Twitch channel, playing a free session, I believe, campaign of Omens Rising, which is a new system that's in development by a bunch of awesome people, so you can come check it out there. Yeah, that's it for me. Also, you can catch me on Utopia on the Friday before our next Soundclash, playing Chimera as the GM there.
Yeah.
It's the main things I got.
Yes, you do quite a few things, in fact, but they're all quite dope. I've been trying to catch up with Chimera, and it's actually really neat. As for me, I have been your stage manager, Brandon O'Brien. I am the designer of this game being held together by Duct Tape, Soundclash, as well as the GM of this campaign, Soundclash the Clampdown. You can find me almost anywhere on the internet at The Rising Tides. That's TITHES. I have an itch.io page, therisingtides.itch.io. I am on Twitter most of the time. And I am on this channel almost every Sunday, doing either this or the Speculate Blaze in the Dark special series, The Case of the Sinded Seal, which is narrating its own shenanigans as well. So if you want to see more of how much I like Blades in the Dark's mechanics and how it empowers people to do wild and weird stuff, definitely pass through for that for our next session, which will be coming up very soon in May. And I think that's it for me right now. So I will ask very nicely for you all to give all of your love to everyone who has played this evening. Thank you so very much for joining me for yet another session. This was a lot of fun, and I can't wait to see you all actually do the thing, because performance is actually going to be very wild, and I can't wait to see what that looks like mechanically. But I will, for just a little bit, dip out of here and turn to you all here now. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another session of Soundclash Clampdown. This was a lot of fun. I'm really glad that I didn't have to worry about any technical difficulties anymore, because it meant that we just got to do the thing. And being able to experience that without any lag or any very peculiar audio issues is very, very rewarding. I can't wait to not only GM and experience the rest of the campaign with the rest of this crew, but I can't wait to actually start physically contributing to the rest of the actual Soundclash game rules on this new computer. Thank you again, everybody, for contributing, even if it was just by being present, being visible on this channel. Thank you so very much for making something like this happen. I'm very grateful. I want to be able to pay that forward to this channel and to the work that Soundclash does as often and as much as possible. With that being said, I know that the week on this channel is kind of in flux at the moment. The only thing that I'm confident that I know right now is definitely happening very soon is that this coming Friday is an upcoming session of Speculate Rebel Crown, Splendor, and Shadow, which will have me playing instead of GMing. That game is me and Greg and Alex Axe and Dongwon Song being GM'd by our good friend Michael Underwood. So definitely pass through for that. Other than that, of course, the announcement has been made very recently by Arv himself that ArvCon is coming up very soon next month. If I'm not mistaken, those dates are the 28th to the 30th. I'm really excited to participate in that. I'm going to let you all know right now. My intention is definitely to contribute as much as possible to that in terms of showing you all more indie designers and their RPG work, whether it's giving you an opportunity to see some of those smaller projects, including other projects from the Ultimate Micro RPG Game Book. I'm presently talking to some folks who have work in that collection. If they want to run one of their games for ArvCon, would be really dope. So we'll see if that works out. I definitely want you to get an opportunity to talk to those designers and hear them talk about their own work in their own words and get a perspective of the RPG scene from indie designers who are working freelance in some spaces or doing their own content work. So I will have more to say about that tentatively coming up soon. But I'm definitely very excited about ArvCon. I participated in last year's ArvCon. It was dope. So I definitely want to be a part of this one as well. But other than that, I should definitely say thank you to you all for participating and checking out the stream. Thanks again to Arvin Elron for giving me an opportunity to be on this platform. Very grateful. Thank you again for buying me a computer so I could make content on this platform. I'm very grateful to have an opportunity to showcase my work in this space. Thank you. Thank you to moderator Triffity Mats for helping keep the chat nice and tidy. As Arv says, these are the best mods in the business, and I'm very grateful that you were here to help me make this stream as peaceful and as wonderful a stream as possible. Thank you to Amraz, Axeman808, Brucey Baby, Gregory, Crit Twitch, Feet, Freed, Garlic Tofu, Lone Wolf 67, Macaroni KTX, Mrs. Dunstall, Shadowy Sticks, Stygian Sticks, The Neon Caster, Hugh Christensen, and Villain Vicencio for passing through. Again, obviously, thank you to Katie and Amber and Nathan, and Vale for playing with us this evening. I'm really excited to see what the rest of this session holds. I can't wait for us to start another session of Soundclash and Clampdown with pure musical fun in that next in their performance in that second bout of this Soundclash qualifier. So definitely check out, definitely look forward to our next session of Soundclash and Clampdown coming in a fortnight. But until then, I hope you all have a wonderful evening. I hope you all stay safe and keep the frequency in your heart, everyone. Enjoy the rest of the evening.